good? Remember you're live. Hello everyone, if anyone's turned up, how's it going? I'm going to do a majorly important vegan live stream. For anyone who's new to veganism, anyone who is interested in veganism or is vegan and wants to help others promote veganism, I want to just reel off from nothing, just why veganism is important, how you can do it, how you can stay vegan for the rest of your life and not fall into all the silly traps and obstacles. And I want to do this live and also potentially answer some questions. So I'm going to get this up on my phone to find the live stream. It looks like someone's appeared. Acid Candy, hello. How's it going, Acid Candy? I'm about to explain veganism from just kind of from my experience and from the perspective of someone who's been vegan for a really long time and understands all the obstacles and mistakes and how you can overcome them really easily. So what I'm going to do is initially just load up the chat on this phone so I can read the comments more easily. Subscriptions maybe? Here it is, live. I have a question, go for it. I'll let you do the question before I start rambling, but yeah. What's your thing? How can I clear my skin by being vegan? It's a good question actually, the clearing the skin thing. It's a basic kind of obstacle. I think there's a lot of factors that come into it. I don't think it's necessarily vegan related all the time. I think there's a lot of genetics and hormonal things that come into play. So with, I think with skin in general, it's like a complex issue where initially things like dairy can cause that. I think things like oils do for sure. I think bad nutrition in general, just in terms of like lots of processed foods and unhealthy things can create a lot of blockages in you and hormonal imbalances. And I think, in general, I think skin issues come when you're kind of in the teenage kind of period of having like crazy hormones going on. I think also stress and lack of sleep and things. For me, I think I notice stress with that kind of thing is quite related to your skin and things like that. So really, I think hydration is really important. Having lots of fruits and vegetables is nice. I think just kind of like analysing yourself a little bit in terms of seeing if there are certain things that spur on, I guess, hello everyone that's come into the stream. I'm going to be getting really focused in a second, but just to answer a few questions. Anything that kind of spurs you on, noticing that and then maybe avoiding it and then eating the things that kind of seem to make you more healthy. I'd say really like, Cat, the vegan artist. Oh yeah, hey, I'm 12 and I'm scared of protesting. I think people won't take me seriously due to my age. I want to be active for the animals. Any tips? I can answer that in a sec. So the skin thing, yeah, just kind of like figure it out, do your best, and it'll be good. I have a question. How can I clear my skin by being vegan? I think be patient as well and just like learn to love yourself first. In a sense where you don't care and then you can kind of just like try different things and just kind of take care of yourself. Give yourself so much self-love. I think your body gives that back to you. That's a bit wishy-washy advice, but I don't think it's necessarily completely diet involved. How old are you? Me? How old am I now? For anyone who speaks Japanese, I am 22 desu, which is 22 years old. 22. And I've been vegan about 7 years, so that's the thing. I've been doing YouTube videos for about 4 years, so I've been learning videos like that. Hello all, how's it going everyone? I'm 12 and I'm scared of protesting. So look, I think people won't take me seriously due to my age. But I want to be active for the animals. Okay, here's the thing, I think if you're young, people are going to have this ageism thing going on with you where you have a certain kind of like energy about you that seems inexperienced and seems like you're not worth listening to. And I think especially when you're young, there is actually a thing you're going to have inside of you where you feel the need to prove yourself and you feel the need to get everyone's attention because no one generally gives you that kind of attention and respect. I think one of the best things you can do when you're really young, and I've realised this because I've tried to achieve a lot of things, I think, from a young age, in various kind of aspects of life, for example, like piano, when I play piano, and Even I guess when I first started YouTube, I was quite young, and now I've kind of grown up a little bit. But there's all these kind of different things, and the first thing you can do, I think, is create this kind of foundation in yourself where you're more, where you don't need people's approval to be able to communicate, and you don't need, I guess you don't rely on validation too much, so that can, people take you more seriously if you're very strong in yourself and have a sense, like a core sense of who you are and what you stand for and what's right. And I think if anyone watches like good public speakers, who are usually adults, but like good public speakers, for example, in the vegan world, like people like Gary Rofsky, people are so sure of themselves. People, not from like a place of arrogance, but in a place from experience and a place of having researched, having like really mastered the craft that you do. So for you, you want to be good at vegan activism. So what you should do is put all of your energy into really mastering that. Like put all the time you have spare. Hi, by the way. How's it going, MKK? I'm going to answer some questions, but put so much energy into really crafting being the best kind of vegan activist you can be in terms of all the aspects of it. Maybe it's to do with like understanding nutrition. Maybe it's about understanding the arguments that get thrown at you and how you can help other people overcome these kind of obstacles. How you can, teach people about what happens to animals in a way that's manageable for their minds that might not necessarily have ever heard of that information before, and like in a way that can kind of like gently kind of lead you to that vegan path without scaring people away. So I think it's one of those things where you're never going to get there unless you keep hammering away at it. And what I've realized from life is that you don't suddenly get good at anything really. You have to go through a very long process of sucking and people not taking you seriously and not having that much respect in order to earn that respect through really having committed yourself so much and putting so much time in and so much practice that that basically failure in the sense of whatever you're trying to achieve, which is vegan activism, is almost inevitable, impossible, because you're so fired up and you're so experienced. And if anyone watches Earthling Ed's videos, I'm a big fan of Ed. I mean, I'm not really a fan of him because he's more of a friend, and then he just became like very good at YouTube, and now he's like, everyone loves him, but I loved him before everyone else loved him, so I love the stuff he does. Ed's doing amazing stuff, so big love to Ed. But if anyone watched his earlier videos where he's doing all the street interviews, you see kind of this shift where he's going from kind of like being maybe a bit shy and not really know what he's saying to just going for it, and he was doing so many street interviews that he became very, very good through just doing it over the period of a year or two, speaking to so many people that his public communication skills and his ability to educate people and to make videos, obviously, that are both entertaining and interesting and inspiring and all these kind of things. He got that through the experience, and I think when you watch the kind of initial videos of any kind of YouTubers and people who you respect and inspire, you end up in a situation where you realize that they sucked and they weren't that good and they didn't have that much experience and they were maybe not that interested initially, but they learned to grow with it. And I think with vegan activism you have to really do that through just lots of experience and just trying your best and not being scared to just not be too good. So I'm going to go down here. Oh, so the skin question regarding issues, lots of questions. I was going to just ramble because I thought it might be a bit quiet, but I'm going to answer the questions because why not? I can do more of these. I'm working on this little documentary at the moment. That's happening. It's taking lots of time, but I'm really proud of it, what's going on so far. So, how old are you? 20 scared. How can I turn my friends vegan? I'm the only one and want them to know the truth. So how do you turn your friends vegan? I think the first thing you need to do is not get too attached to the idea of being able to turn everyone vegan around you, because it's not really your burden for everyone else in your like immediate circles to become vegan. I think what you have to do is be in a situation where you can plant lots of seeds, where you can share your experience and inspire people, give advice and give helpful things. But I think in a lot of ways you can't really teach people who don't want to be taught. And if your friends don't want to listen to you and aren't ready to accept it, there's not that much you can do. How's it going, Carly Simkin? There's not that much you can do to persuade them until they're ready to actually kind of open up and try and learn. And once you get people to that stage, then you can like really just send them a lot of love and compassion and try and you know, educate them and then give them the practical. Plant the seeds of doubt. Seeds of doubt. I don't know what that means, but so yeah, give them the kind of oh yeah, the seeds of doubt. I guess it's the seeds of kind of like maybe this whole world is a bit insane and you need to rethink it. That is probably what you mean, isn't it? The seeds of kind of realizing like you know, the things you believed and that you were taught from maybe school and through the media about where your food came from or how life is. Yeah, Sebastian. Yeah. Realizing there's something a bit crazy about all of that. But really, I think you just got to be a really good friend. Make loads of really yummy food and share it. Best vegan meal you've ever eaten. That's a great story. I'm going to share that because it's a beautiful story. But it's not that fun. It's just like a good story. But I'm scared of protesting. I think most people don't take me seriously. I want to be active. I mean, the protesting, just to go back to the thing, I'm not a fan of protesting. I think protesting just ends up as you being like a whiny, annoying person that no one wants to listen to. I actually think we should just be like very beautiful masters of whatever we want to be in life, and then people will be inspired by us. And then when we can be in a certain space within ourselves rather than just like being angry all the time, which I think the anger has a lot of value in terms of fueling us to want to make change and to obviously kind of like take the actions and do things and educate people. But I think if all your whole life is just anger, then people will quickly kind of like run away from you and realize you're not like, do more vegan Japan videos. So many more vegan Japan videos are happening. It's just a case of, I'm a perfectionist sometimes, and I've got a big project happening, and the big project is the kind of bulk, and you're not going to see that for a few days, maybe. But, so essentially, yeah, don't necessarily protest, just kind of like, show people a better option, show people that there's a better alternative to the way they've been living previously and that they just didn't realize. And you don't have to put any shame into that, like, why didn't you have a more compassionate lifestyle? It's just be like, we're ready for you to come over, we're having more fun than you. And not even from a place of like, I'm better than you, but just from a place of, you know, this is going to make the world better in every kind of way. How do you make a living as a vegan activist? I don't know. I'm still figuring that out. I mean, you just got to put veganism into everything you do, really, and then just figure that out. How do you make a living? That's a real question. You sell your soul to universities and then get a piece of paper that says you're an important person for some kind of reason, and then apply to a person and show them your CV and tell them like, oh, I'm experienced because I worked for this company once and I did work experience, and then you get a job, and then the people with the job say, oh, well done, and then you get up early and go to sleep. And the world's a little bit insane, but I think we have to just do our best. And some people are in that situation, some people aren't. Some people are struggling with money, some people aren't. We all have different stories and experiences, but we have to just kind of survive and find some kind of harmony and balance in that, and find a way to pull the joy out of sometimes very stressful, tiring experiences. Is this real time? Real time? Yeah, this is right now. I mean, time doesn't really exist, does it? It's just a bit of an illusion that we're all kind of believing. And I mean, because when you travel, you realize that the time now in Japan is not the time in England or America or anywhere, and it's all just kind of this blurry thing. And time is just this sequence of events, but I'm going to ramble about that, and it's not going to interest anyone. Really liked your video about the vegan products in Japan. More like that, please. I haven't actually read any of the comments in that. I should do that. I uploaded it, and then I got really busy for the last few days. I've just moved into a new house in Japan. I've got a... Oh, I can't show you, because I'll move this. Oh, Sacramento in California. How's it going? I've got a tatami mat, which is really cool. Tatami is... I'll show you in a minute. Wait. Oh, wait, there's... Hang on. I got legs. Oh, sorry. This isn't the best. I've just moved in, so it's really messy, and there's loads of... Just got my pants on the floor or something. But, no, it's not true, but... This is extremely casual, and I love it. So, how to make a living as a vegan activist? You just do your best. Regarding skin issues, smoking and drinking alcohol is bad for your skin. Yeah, don't smoke and don't drink alcohol. That's good advice. I mean, I don't do those. Drinking alcohol is silly, isn't it? Sorry for anyone who's like an alcoholic, but it's a bit unnecessary, I think. And a lot of alcohol isn't vegan, so that's a thing. I'm just dropping my arrogance on the world with, I don't know, I'm just having fun with it. Hope everyone's having a great day, by the way. I'm just trying to share some of my life in a way that's quite manageable while I'm working on like a big editing project. But we need a support system for vegans and learning disability. Oh, I'm dizzy. Was that because I swiveled the camera? Sorry about that. So if you do either of these, cut down. We need support. If you have a support family, then it can be difficult. I know from experience. Vegans with learning disabilities. Yeah, I can imagine actually. That's not something, because I haven't obviously had a learning disability. And I've not really had too many friends who have been through that journey. I mean, technically my brother is, he's autistic. Or night is, Sebastian says nighttime is 10, almost 11. My brother's autistic, he's got ADHD and Asperger's syndrome. And he actually was kicked out of school because he had like an outburst and there was lots of stress and things. But and he's vegan. He's been vegan for about 3 years or 4 years now. He's not got very good communication skills, so it can be actually a bit difficult. But he's very good with his veganism, though. He'll never eat non-vegan food out of awkwardness, so that's good. But I know what you mean. Any kind of communication things and stuff like that can be difficult, especially. I think I'm not that educated on different kinds of learning disabilities. Actually, I have a sister who's autistic. Yeah. I think I'm a little bit autistic. I think it kind of runs in my family a little bit. So that's... Vegan activist reveals he has autism. I don't know. The silly labels, though, I think labels don't do too much for us unless we are in a situation where we need people to really understand us. I think it's better just to kind of like... if you can kind of get through life without having to put certain labels on yourself for sympathy, it kind of helps to do that and just kind of embrace your quirkiness and the things that make you unique and special, regardless of if that's like a clear kind of thing. But no offense to people who do kind of identify with the labels. I don't mean that to be a thing. It's just a case of, hi, Michael. Frida says, oh, Andrew! Andrew! Oh, how's it going, Andrew? Frida, I bet Frida's just like like the most beautiful vegan baby in the world. I think I was on Rihanna's sorry, I've just moved into a new apartment in Japan, Andrew, and that's happening. And everything's quite on the random. But yeah, I hope Frida's doing beautifully, and I hope Rihanna's good, and I hope you're doing amazing as well. It's been a long time, but I know you'll be... nice to hear from you, yeah. I hope... Wait, how old's Frida now? That must be... she must have kind of grown, and yeah, we're good. Long time indeed. That's good to hear. I understand my flaws, but everyone is unique. Yeah. Hang on, I'm going to get distracted with Andrew. To end of March. Oh! Wow, 2 years have gone. That's craziness. But I'm sure, like, I guess the parenting experience has been really interesting. Like, a lot of learning, and then, like, the learning has probably turned into just kind of deepening your understanding of, like, how everything is and how everything's quite beautiful. And I love... Recently, I've got really into just observing how children are and realizing that kind of freedom that they have that a lot of, like, adults lose, and just kind of noticing it. Because you can really see it in Japan, where people obviously, like, they have like a very strong sense of social... parenting is quite the journey. There's like a strong sense of like social conditioning where everyone's very in their place and polite, and there's like all the rules of social kind of etiquette, I guess you'd say. Yeah, there's all of that, and but then children don't have that much of that, and just to see that contrast is really beautiful. And I think also seeing mums with their children around here is really nice, because you see that kind of like really human aspect of everything that goes beyond the politeness and stuff. Yeah, this was going to be like a like explaining veganism, but it ended up being Q&A more, which is good. Thank you. Here we go. Do you know how to keep your cool during discussions? Keep your cool. Regarding skin issues? Okay. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. My family refuses to understand. I'm 17, went vegan a few months ago. Your family refuses to understand. I think one of the best things when you have family. We'll catch up soon. Leave you to it. Oh yeah, Andrew, thank you. I'll send you a message on maybe WhatsApp or maybe Instagram. But yeah, I'd like to catch up because there's a lot of new things, and I'd really like to hear how you're doing. Say hi to Rihanna and Frida. Alden Tamborello says hi, Rihanna and Frida. Andrew, have you ever visited an animal sanctuary? I have. Online. Apologies to everyone for the technical difficulties that have occurred. I'm going to just continue this, and people can watch this post anyway, and hopefully it'll be okay. It might be a little bit blurry, maybe, or maybe the internet's a bit slow. So to apologise to everyone, to still work, everyone. My pocket Wi-Fi. Ooh, are there any animal sanctuaries in Japan? There is one animal sanctuary in Japan. Sorry if everyone got really impatient while this kind of froze, but the internet ran out of battery, and then I had to put it on charge, so we now got charged. But internet for Japan is helpful. But I'm going to continue talking, and if everyone's kind of quite impatient, then that's up to you. But internet in Japan, yeah. But I've just moved into this place, so we have temporary internet. I thought it was my connection. Mick. Oh wait, is that Mick? Mick, yeah. I know lots of Mick, so it could be any kind of Mick, but he reads our comments from time to time. That is how it is. Occasionally I don't read comments, and I think it's just because I like to give thoughtful responses to everything that's said. And there's so many comments that require a lot of thought. Thank you so much for the work you do. We, animal, humans, and other animals appreciate. I'm happy you appreciate it. Please give us a tour of your place. Yeah, I could do that. I'll give you a tour. You get a tour. Yeah, I'll do a tour. I'll do a tour. Short tour. You get a tour. So thank you so much for the work you do, we human animals, or leading them, not caring, remaining in the bliss of ignorance. A good tip, most of the time I just tell them what happens and they accept it. Sebastian, follow Aspie here. Aspie? As in James Aspie, maybe, yeah. Ed is awesome, friend of mine, met him in Denmark, yeah. Ed's a good man of the people, I'd say. He's really good at just being a real human being that you can connect with. Really liked your video about vegan products in Japan, more like that, please. I'm going to do lots of good vegan... It's good to hear that, because I haven't read it in the comments, but I don't know if people are actually interested in... Because if you don't live in Japan, it's not that relevant to you, but I think it's just interesting from a vegan point of view to realise that globally this beautiful movement is becoming more and more easy and full of passionate people who are sharing messages in different languages and different kind of cultural stories and things. Also reading the books of Professor Gary Francione, search on Amazon, helps me greatly. Yeah, reading books is good. Reading books in general is always good. Best vegan meal you've eaten. It's the best vegan meal I've eaten. Oh, I've had some really yummy recently. So I'm more in the moment. Oh, it's FX Vegan. How's it going? Yeah, we need to hang out sometime. But yeah, the best vegan meal. So probably the best meal was when I went on a really long cycling adventure and I was extremely hungry. And then my friend made me rice, in a rice cooker with, hello from Montreal, Canada, yeah. Rice with black bean sauce and sugar. And I think I had a mango with that, maybe. And because I was so hungry because I've been cycling for several hours and I was on my way to a vegan festival on the other end of England by bike, which was 300 miles or something. It wasn't that much, but it was almost that. I was cycling non-stop for about 5 days. I was so hungry and it was just the most blissful experience of energy returning to my body. And I realised that food is this beautiful fuel, and all the silly kind of gourmetness, which is really nice, is when you're kind of hungry, it doesn't really matter. And it was just a nice reminder of that kind of simplicity of life. But really good meals I've had, I really love at the moment, like, I've had some really amazing curries, you know, like, some friends I've had made really good curries. Usually it's, I've been to Croatia. No, I haven't. Hang on one sec. So many comments. I'm being really out of... do more Japan videos, best meal you've eaten. Do you have any tips on keeping your cool whilst talking to vegans? I think just see it from their point of view. To keep your cool, just understand that they want to be right. You probably want to be right. But they need it more than you. They need to be right more than you, so let them be right. But then you just get to that place where you can just understand them from a human point of view, that they're very scared, and there's a lot of fears and cultural conditioning that's preventing them from... just just having clear thoughts and being able to... So realizing that they want that, but don't really know how to make that happen. You realize that they want that, which is maybe a big... If you come from a place of love and kind of do that, keeping your cool is more just about realizing that you're kind of having a conversation with yourself in like a very loose kind of, if you want to think about life in a spiritual way, you're kind of just having a conversation with like another side of yourself. Has different experiences, and it's just a case of like get common ground, and once you get to that common ground and find that connection, then just kind of like sharing your experience and helping them sort of see it from your point of view. And you have to have a lot of listening, like do a lot of listening, and then they're going to say stupid things, but you have to just realize that rather than getting baited by the stupid stuff, maybe if you're having like a silly heated argument, that stupid stuff is just all of their fear and the lies that they were told that they believed. So it's just one of those things, isn't it? You just got to do everything from a nice place rather than trying to be right all the time. Best vegan meal you've eaten? So many vegan meals are amazing. I mean, vegan gyoza is really... gyoza are like vegetable dumpling things, Japanesey style. They're really nice if you get the good ones, or make them yourself. Tips on keeping you cool, because I found myself crying in the middle of arguments when from what I've seen, yeah. I mean, I'm going to do another... the next video I'm making is going to be how to stay really positive as a like long-term vegan, and it's going to be one of those like emotionally videos that people really like. So you can listen to that. One sec. Do more vegan Japan videos. Vegan Japan videos coming your way. Do you have any tips on keeping you cool? Of aims to do peaceful protest, Anonymous for the Voiceless. Yeah, the Anonymous for the Voiceless is fun. I haven't done that much Anonymous for the Voiceless. I'm not actually a massive fan of the street activism, personally, which I can get to in a bit. He reads your comments from time to time. That was like an hour ago, so sorry about that. Hello, I'm Australian. People probably don't even care about any of these questions anymore. I have a sister who's autistic. I have a sister who's autistic too. That is not a joke, I actually do. Why do you think that school doesn't educate us about food pyramid? Is there a specific reason? In Tokyo, are there any cubes? Yeah, there are, I think. I was going to go to one and didn't, but they do the Cube of Truth, I think, every Saturday, I think, or Sunday, which maybe... I've been busy with moving house, but I think now I've moved in, it's a case of quite exciting... how do I say it? Quite exciting... I've got more free time, I guess, because I'm not like trying to figure out buying a fridge, you know. Buying a fridge, isn't that fun? Well, does school educate people about food? I think it's just, that's a really good question. I'm going to answer that in a minute. But the next question is, can you chalk in Japan, like, for vegan activism? And yes, you can. Yeah, maybe I should just do loads of like Japanese chalking and film it. Yeah, and just do some art. That's going to happen. But rather than saying go vegan, I think my approach in Japan is saying veganism is cute, because everyone loves cute things, and it softens the there's a bit of a stereotype about veganism. So saying something like vegan wa kawaii, kawaii means cute. Vegan wa kawaii, not kawaii. Kawaii means scary, so don't say that. Kawaii, kawaii. How do you even say that? I'm trying to learn the Japanese pitch accent at the moment, but I'm failing at it because it's difficult. Maybe FX Vegan will know. Because I think the accent thing is actually quite important. Because I listen to a lot of the non-Japanese people speaking Japanese, and I'm like, it cringes me because I'm like that. And obviously, it's people take you more seriously if you have a nice voice, I think. And I've realised that from speaking English. So it helps to put some time in. He reads your comments from time to time. From time to time, I will read your comments. So I was chatting with Andrew for a bit. Do you know how to keep your cool? Are there any animal sanctuaries in Japan? There is one, I think, or a handful. Most of them aren't really vegan run. They're more kind of just a thing. But there's one, I think, the other end of Japan, I think. But the sanctuary thing hasn't taken off in Japan like it has in England or maybe America and Australia. But I'm going to build a vegan paradise sanctuary in Japan, and you can come along with me and join me on this journey. I mean that almost as a joke, but I'm actually completely serious. Have you visited a sanctuary? The opposite of cute. Yeah. Yeah, I've been to quite a few sanctuaries. Not too many, but I've had the sanctuary experience. I went to one recently in England just before I came to Japan in December, which wasn't a vegan-run sanctuary. It's more just kind of like full of animal-lovery people, like volunteering, and that was nice. There was some cute pigs that I got to stroke and sort of hang out with. So that was a nice experience. Everyone's talking about Earthing Ed's Patreon. Do you do street activism? Not really. Street activism isn't that appealing to me, really, because I see it as stretch out, kawaii, yeah, kawaii. It helps me just to kind of remember all the experiences of people being, enjoying cuteness. Kawaii. Kawaii, yeah. Do you think animals are equal to humans? That's a big question. Do a tour of your place. Are animal sanctuary in Japan? Not really. Can you give us a tour of your place? Enjoyed your life. Bye bye. I need to go volunteering at sanctuary. Well, have a good time with that. That's really beautiful. It's probably not that Mick. I'm from Sweden. Oh yeah, you're a different Mick. I had a friend called Mick once, but I don't know if he exists anymore in my circles for various reasons. I love the Japan videos. I'd like to go there someday. It'll be helpful. Yeah, come along. I'm actually probably going to be doing vegan Japanese food masterclasses in the next month or so. As like a bit of a minor part-time job here for the fun of it, and because the vegan community needs more of that, I think, here. So we're going to do a bit of that in our beautiful Japanese traditional house. It's a bit of a lie. It's just a little apartment, but yeah, I'll show you actually. I'll show you. Everyone's enjoying. I want to get to the questions and then do at the end of this there'll be a minor tour of the new place, but just don't judge me on all the pants that are on the floor, you know. Don't judge me, please. I'm just looking around and being like, just quickly hide socks. You know when you just move into a place and you're like, well, maybe the world shouldn't see where I live. People don't care. Tour. Do you think animals are equal to humans? I think equality is a silly concept. I think equality is a silly concept, and then you get that clip and then put it in like a montage about how I'm evil and how I want to kill everyone. Sister Bob says, ethically speaking, if one YouTuber makes a cat from animal videos, that's pretty heavy. Everyone's getting intense. We need more of everything in Japan for the vegan community. You know, I agree with that a lot. For sure. I think just everything that's done is very nicely received in terms of the kind of animal movement, but I think that bullying you're talking about, the vegan gains, was when maybe people are talking about random stuff that I don't care about, and I'm not going to address stuff like that. If people are talking about, what does Vegan Gains do these days? I like that guy, he was funny. But equal to humans, I think the equality thing is just a silly label. Really, like, we're all just kind of different and unique and having wacky experiences of life in different kind of like spiritual levels that don't really have like a hierarchy, but it's just like a different kind of thing. And I think because of that, we should just respect that. Not needing to kind of like give them the right to vote on not English, like human things, but just kind of leave them to just enjoy life, you know, because that's what's happening. And we just kind of try and take it away. How do I discreetly poison meat eaters in restaurants? I think you're in like a majorly toxic way of thinking, I think. So I can address that in a minute. I don't think that's the way to do it. Just insulting people on this live stream. You have mental problems. Don't poison people. No, I don't mean that as a thing, but like, I know you're probably joking, but if you are serious, I've had those thoughts too. I'm just saying. Check out this book, What a Fish Knows. The Lives of Underwater Cousins by Jonathan. Okay, I'll save that for later. Have you been going to Croatia? I'm going there later this year and haven't heard much when it comes to vegan food. Not been to Croatia, don't have any experience on that. I'd like to maybe at some point, but I have no experience of Croatia through media or any form of people I've known. FX Vegan, well, you know, I'm having a similar meal right now, rice with a variety of beans. That's the best thing in Japan, isn't it? Just good rice and beans. I had that earlier for lunch. Mostly just canned vegetables. Don't have a lot of money, but I can't give up. Yeah, I mean, that's what you got to do. I'm doing like quite a cheap version of veganism in Japan. I can live on $1 a day for sure. If I eat cheap soba and cheap rice and just some like extremely cheap tofu and natto and just some like veggies like if anyone saw the video, the thing called daikon, which is Japanese radish. It's like 7 pence or like a dollar for like this massive, the size of like my arm, and it's just chunky, and you can make like several meals out of that. So it's getting those kinds of things is really amazing. Let's get on this one. There's a question about poisoning meat eaters. I don't really believe in that kind of approach. I'm living and use my language well. Hi from Bolivia. Do you do street activism? Not really. I mostly eat canned veggies. I think street activism is a bit overrated. I'm going to say that like quite vocally, because I think more artistic things are more valuable forms of activism, and also just connecting with people as like individuals, wherever you go and whatever you're doing is probably more valuable than the street thing. Is getting to people who haven't ever heard of veganism, but you can do that through loads of other forms. I've never been a massive fan of the street activism, even though I've called myself the vegan activist. People think that activism means street activism, but I actually think that activism is deeper than that. Obviously, that's a form of it, but there's just lots. Do you think there's a danger in activism on YouTube? So I pay cash, especially with $30 recipes. I mean, just people got to make the living, isn't it? It's, I think you just let people get on with their thing, and some people want to support that, some people won't. I don't think we should be too angry. I mean, some people have to eat, and that's kind of the way it is, isn't it? The world's a bit silly. Are you allowed to chalk on the streets in Japan? Yes, you are, and I will be doing so. What do you think Earthing Ed spends his $8,000 on Patreon a month on? Just drugs, probably, like loads of drugs, and his gambling addictions, I think. So maybe he's saving up for an aeroplane. This is like, sorry, I'm going to be like a little bit insulting about that kind of question. It's like, just let him do his thing. Doesn't really matter what he does with it. He's doing beautiful stuff. He made like a documentary that was like, that's probably helped hundreds and thousands of people like become vegan for free, and people wanted to support that. So don't be judging on Ed. I know you're probably meaning that in a nice way, but it's like, I hope you're joking. Is that to me? I don't know. Sister Bob, when he travels, he gives speeches. Yeah, the travelling's expensive. Probably equipment, camera equipment, stuff like that. The opposite of cute. Kawaii. Okay, bye. Did you get offended by me? Enjoyed your life, bye. No, you're not getting offended. You're cool. Yeah. I'm saying there's the cash, false messages because someone's vegan, nice person looks vegan gains, online bully. Vegan gains, he's just trying to be getting everyone's attention. I think he just didn't get enough attention as a child, so he's kind of doing that through YouTube now. But that's not me. Like I like vegan gains. He's fun. Richard's fun. Ethically speaking, one tube of making cash is exploitation. I'm not into that idea. We need more of everything in Japan. Vegan gains, 20 years old. It's actually growing up. I wish the truth earlier. Poisoning people is bad. Don't poison people. Here's like the biggest wisdom of this stream. Microphones to do street interviews. I think just get like a little lavalier mic. This one. Go on Amazon and just get the fairly cheap ones that have good reviews. They're all about like £20, I think. I don't know about in Japan though, but I think the lavalier thing is just mic people up, isn't it? Get in there. But I'm not that good with that kind of thing. I've not done enough hands-on stuff. I'm always like just in my bedroom with a microphone and vegan. Everyone's talking about vegan gains. Please do not poison anyone. Going to breed meat allergy, introducing ticks and release them in the airport. Good idea? No. Everyone exists at different points in the physical, and the same is true of the spiritual plane of existence. It's not purely on intellectual ability. That's some wisdom. Oh, I'm gonna, yeah. This is good. Let's think. I hope you're joking. Okay, bye. I'm school house captain and SRS in my school. I also worship the Lord. How's the Lord doing? I hope he's good. Or her. You're talking about the God? SRS. No, SRC, sorry. SRS means space repetition. Do you have any recommendation for good microphones? Not really. Alpha Galtics. What are your thoughts on ARM? See, the worst thing you can do is throw wacky English acronym. Not are they acronyms? Acronyms, yeah. Throw wacky English abbreviations for me where I don't even speak English anymore. I've become Japanese, and I don't understand that much English anymore. So the modern trendy acronyms and abbreviations people use are beyond me. I know all the Tokyo ones now. That is a bit of a joke, but it's kind of true. I want to just do the ramble that I was going to do before everyone leaves. Probably people are going to get bored, but the ramble I was going to do is like, why you should be vegan. You should be vegan because life is beautiful. Life is so beautiful that we shouldn't take away that beautifulness of others, whether it be humans or animals, because animals are different, but they're unique in their own way and their lives have value, and we should respect that value. And the thing that's within them that wants to live, which is the same as the thing that's in us that wants to live, has there's enough in that for us to just leave them be. And I think we're never going to understand what life is in this kind of plane of being a human. We're not going to understand what their life is and what it means. But really, if we can kind of just treat them like we'd want to be treated if we were in their shoes, you know? And if we can give that an understanding, I think everything's going to be nicer for everyone. And I think the more happiness that's in the world, I think the more happiness comes back to us. And I think a lot of people are suffering in a lot of different ways, you know. If you end up getting into these very addictive cycles that's been created by basically industries that just want to make money and exploit for pointless reasons, I think if you get, hey, VU, vegan activist, vegan underman, if you just get to a place where you see that value, then you'll just realize that we can just leave them be. We can eat a nutritious, healthy diet of beautiful plants that was healthy and nourishing us for us without having to harm animals. Realizing we can do that should be a good reason to just go for it. Hey, the Vegan Uprise, how's it going, Vegan Uprise? Make yourself at home. Make yourself. Do people say that? Make yourself at home. It's that's an expression. よかったらゆっくりしてってね。And how do you become vegan? You have to look at all the obstacles that are going on and then find a way of overcoming them. So it might be perfectionism, it might be you're realizing that you want to be right about everything, you want to know everything, but once you let go of that, you can... This beautiful challenge of making veganism and becoming vegan into a game of like, I'm going to do my best to learn all this new stuff and figure out ingredients and learn how to cook. It's just this new go on. And then once you do that, you're eventually going to be in a place where you become vegan. Because for me, veganism isn't about a state of being a vegan. It's about being in this journey where you're always trying to learn new things, to be as mindful as possible, and then those things that you learn along the way, you can take action upon them, and then be more in line with, I guess, the most harmonious way of living. And veganism is the start of a very beautiful journey that leads us towards just trying to find that balance and harmony. And there's a lot of things that go beyond the simple not eating animals to making the world more free and more peaceful in a lot of ways. And I think through a lot of patience we can find that. How do you become vegan? What you do is you just have a word with yourself and you say, this is important. And I think if you have that mindset where like humans are very powerful in the sense that if there's really something we want to achieve, and if we put our all into it, where we get to that point where, if anyone's ever heard of Eric Thomas, that like motivational speaker guy, he did a speech which was really powerful, and I like that guy. He's quite cool. I think he's mostly vegan now, which is really nice. He did an interview where he talked about veganism a bit, from like a kind of self-development, personal development point of view. But he has this concept of like, if you want to achieve something as bad as you want to breathe, and obviously breath is this life force of us, if you want something as much as that breath that's in you, that if you were suffocating underwater that you desperately want, if you can do that, you'll achieve whatever you want. And you can do that with veganism if you really care about the animals enough, and people do. Once you make that strong connection, it just happens. So find that connection and follow it. So that's a good thing. Is the lavender mic working now? Yeah, I'm actually using one right now. I think it's working. I hope the audio's okay. This was cheap, but I just wanted something that was good for life. People using words I don't know. Feel free to clarify if there's any words I didn't understand. Do you think it is okay if 1 or 2 people get hurt in order to save hundreds of non-human animals? I think we should generally just like not harm others in the process of trying to help others, I think. And that really applies to ourselves, I think, in the sense of what they say on the aeroplanes of put on your own oxygen mask before helping others. I think if you're harming yourself in order to try and help others, I think you're going at it the wrong way when there is another option. You just need to have a bit more patience and maybe dedication and problem-solving abilities. So no, we shouldn't really try and hurt people. How did the 1 or 2 people get hurt? What kind of hurt? What was the situation with the people who got hurt? Too many variables, too many unknowns, for sure. On Wednesday, the 1st/30th, did you see Zipangu on Tokyo TV at 10? It's one of the first vegan mini documentaries about the vocal vegan. Wait. FX vegan. Where do I access that? Because I didn't see it, I didn't know I'd see it, and I want to know about it because that's extremely important to me right now with the video I'm making. I'm gonna... Okay, Zipangu on Tokyo TV at 10 p.m. Please send me a link to that if there's a way of viewing it somewhere, because, yeah, partly because of the 2020 Olympics. Okay. what are some difficulties you encountered moving to Japan? Oh, I mean, I haven't really moved here forever. I'm just here temporarily, but we'll see what happens. And really, if you want to live in Japan, you just have to get married, which is a bit silly, isn't it? Just get married or get like a company to sponsor you, which isn't happening, like long term. I'm here like very temporarily, but obstacles. I guess language barrier is difficult. I don't speak that much Japanese really. I mean, I'm working very hard, but I suck a lot, you know, and I'm doing my best. So that's the thing. I think there's like a lot of you can see it on the app called Teruto. Teruto. Amelia, check out channels like The Easy Vegan. Okay. So yeah, obstacles, there was, I think there's just like a difference in how people are. I think there's a lot of frustration I have with people's politeness and social, like honestly, there's like a lot of difficulty. If you're someone who's like very honest and likes a lot of authenticity, I think there's a lot of lack of sincerity in general kind of Japanese circles compared to like where I'm kind of from in general. And I think that was quite difficult for me to overcome and embrace and accept, rather than just kind of wanting to control it and changing it, just embracing it and realizing that there's like a beauty to it, which is kind of just like, you have to see it more like you're watching a movie with just silly characters who are playing different parts, rather than seeing it as like, these people really believe all of this, because then you end up wanting to think that you imprint your own cultural story onto them and then feel like they're broken, rather than the fact that it's actually just we're all kind of a bit wacky and we all have weird ways of thinking about life and doing life. And as soon as you step out of your own culture, you realize how bizarre your own culture is too, I think. Because for me, when I was in like the London Underground after traveling around Asia, I just noticed English mannerisms and wacky, quirky things that we all do that I never really realized, and that was fascinating. And now I just find English people really weird, because I no longer identify as English. That's a joke for sure. For anyone who's, I'm a bit sort of 50k population. 50k? Okay. Where can you get, I don't know what you're saying. Okay, I'm going to watch it on that Teru To? Do I read that as To? As in like Tokyo? Or is it Kyo? I don't know. Why do you think English are weird? It's not weird, it's just there's a lot of quirkiness to every culture, and because I'd never realised it, I suddenly see it as weird because I'm noticing all the unique things that are unique to English people. I mean, we're a bit similar to Japanese people in the sense that we're a bit roundabout about things. We're a bit like overly polite in a way that's a bit silly sometimes. Like there's a bit of fluffiness to our behaviour that is a bit unnecessary, I think. But then everyone's different, isn't it? There is like 30 vegans in the whole country, lol. Snopikuru. I think there's probably more than 30. I know about 30, so... And then there's definitely more than that. I'm in like a vegan Facebook line group where there's about 40 people. So that's kind of... You've just been disproven live on camera, you know, whoever you are. 2 or 3 people who are oppressed get hurt. 20 Olympics. I'm making a movie project in school in my country. Oh, okay, your country. Sorry, I thought you were Japan. I mean, it feels like that sometimes, but there's probably like a lot of very quiet people who are just enjoying their own thing. They really dislike lateness. Margaret Borowski. And most people eat basically Eskimo diet. Oh, in the Arctic Circle. Okay, that's interesting. You're watching this. 50k population. Sorry, I misunderstood your thing. Making a movie project in school, and the theme is called Cooking Show. I want to make it funny, but still include veganism. Any help ideas? Cooking show, yeah, just, I mean, really just like, Tereto. Short for TV Tokyo. Oh yeah, like terebi. Your Japanese will be way more advanced than me. I mean, FX Vegan is my senpai to everyone. Sad to hear misinformation from keto dieters. Yeah, the keto people. That keto thing's a bit wacky, isn't it? It's like, I see that as being like very unhealthy, but Eskimo, yeah. So the cooking show thing. I mean, just includes those wacky flips of amazing food, and then maybe just kind of like throw in some wacky vegan stats that are relevant to it, that are just like, through eating this meal, we saved 1 million animals. Like maybe like an environmental fact is a good way of getting in there, and then some like plants are great, and then just kind of talk about how it's like really good for animal rights. If you want to be really subtle with it. Small country. Thanks for sharing your stories, Noppa Career. I'll send you a link later. If not, I recorded it. Mate, you're a legend. You recorded it. Seriously. Thank you. Just trying to shed as much light as possible. You're like, you've got the humbleness. The humbleness comes. Humbleness is good. Maybe I haven't developed humbleness yet. I'm happening. It's like it's slowly happening. Through on Skype and Facebook Messenger or IG. Do it on IG. I don't use Facebook or Skype a little bit, but I use Skype because I have a Japanese phone number now. Look, here's me from the past. Lots of heart disease and cancer. There are 3 choices you can make when you expose to the truth. 1, accept it. 2, change, deny it, understand, not care, even with the science. People need to get a bit of time to work it through, don't they? Thank you for just trying. Yeah, I love these comments. It seems like the comments have run out. I'm gonna take a moment just to kind of appreciate everyone who's joined us on this stream. I'm probably going to round it up quite soon. I feel like everyone's probably getting a bit bored. Facebook Onion is what I used. What's Facebook Onion? I mean, yeah, so I just want to share the gratitude. Thanks everyone for is it the internet? Maybe it's a bit blurry. Thanks everyone for joining us, asking questions. I hope if there's any obstacles that you're having with the veganism thing, you can overcome them. I think just keep being curious and doing lots of research, watching lots of videos. The more time you spend understanding veganism through experience and through just kind of watching other people's experiences, the closer you're going to get to being able to make it happen. So from my point of view, it's if you've got that core of that doesn't want to harm animals and doesn't want to see the world be kind of like doesn't want to see the world succumb to corruption, then I think eventually you're gonna make it happen regardless of what happens around you. What are your secret? There's 2 very juicy questions I'm going to answer. What are your secret skills? I mean, they're secret, so why would I tell you them? I have like skills that aren't secret that I have that are I mean, I don't really keep secrets other than all of those secrets that I'm not going to tell you about, but the secrets that aren't really secrets that I could tell you. I guess I can play piano quite capably. I can play violin and flute. I can do handstands. I can do a Pauline. I can speak a bit of Japanese, but that's not really secret anymore. I'm pretty good at cooking. Cooking's something I really love. Student representative counselling. Oh, counsel. Yeah, that's like a word I wouldn't know about. Always learning English. I love reading. This is like some kind of creepy dating profile. I love walks in the park. I love, what else do I love? Hizamakura. Anyone who gets that will know. What's your opinion about veganism before you were vegan? Ah, yeah, that's a good question. Lots of good questions, so I'm going to continue. And what's happening in Japan? Different following Nadia or Rachel? Rachel Lucas? Huh. Most of the vegan action is on Facebook, just to let you know. I know. I'm the anti-Facebook guy, though. Thoughts on why I'm no longer vegan videos? People, I mean, I don't watch any of them because I only watch Japanese content now, which is good from the point of view of getting good at Japanese. But thanks to a React video on a documentary on YouTube. Oh, you should. I'll watch that for sure. I haven't had any chance to watch your videos as FX Vegan or kind of really do anything else, but like I'll take the time for that because it's interesting. So if you do, please, do they have Japanese subtitles on it? Because yeah, I follow so much more when there's on the Japanese stuff, which is weird because if I watch Netflix, all the kind of like good when you're in a VPN. But so then, why I'm no longer vegan, people? I think they're just probably a bit silly, and I've not watched it, so I don't really know like all the different people. And I guess quite a few people do that, but maybe it's people are very scared of not being relevant on the internet, so they think that being like an ex-vegan makes them popular or cool, which is a bit silly, isn't it? So there's definitely a sense of that. There's, I guess, maybe a bit of nutritional silliness in terms of people don't really understand nutrition. There's a lot of fad diets that get people into very unhealthy cycles. I've been someone who's been quite pragmatic with my diet, kind of vegan diet, plant-based diet, in terms of I've just kind of kept learning and changing things, and if I felt bad, I've switched it up. I've not tried to do wacky cleanses and fasts, and I think when you go down the kind of like dieting route of veganism, where you're trying to like undereat or eat certain kind of pure foods, I think you end up depriving your body probably of kind of logical balance of variety and stuff. I'm not really an expert on that, but French Blue, I'm so happy today. Oh, I'm happy you're happy. That's nice. If you happen to watch my videos, just bear with me. I might be a bit boring. Oh, it's fine. I'm boring too. We're all boring, really. It's all just depending on who's interested in what you're saying. Most embarrassing moments. These are just like the wacky questions, aren't they? You're good at a Q&A questionnaire because you just bring out the wacky stories, which I'm good at. The truth is something that is often hidden. So that's just like pockets of wisdom from Sebastian Charlton. Let me just do that. So yeah, the non-vegan people, I guess it's just a case of having like an obsessive approach to dieting and then not kind of overcome the obstacles, because maybe it's a bit of a lack of understanding. If you like my videos, I'm super grateful. You deserve for me to like your videos, so I'm going to do my best to like your videos. If they suck, I'm sorry, I won't like them, but I'll like them, but maybe I won't actually like them. I'll be honest about it, though. I could give you practical feedback. I'll be like, if you just did this, maybe I'd like them more. But, I mean, I'd come from a place of love if I did. I picked up a bird yesterday with damaged wings and rushed it to Essex Wildlife Hospital. That's really beautiful. That's the thing to like that you earn some happiness from that. If you want to know what's up, yeah, reptilian. I'm a reptilian. You heard it here first. Vegan cooking channels, obviously thought about that. Avant-garde vegans, pro chef. I love avant-garde vegan. Who loves Gaz? What was your worst job? I've never had a job. I don't know what jobs are. I'm going to leave that there. What's a job? Yeah. I guess the worst job I had was I did work in a flower shop very briefly. That was cool. But that wasn't the worst job. I've never had a job, see, apart from that one. What was your opinion about veganism before you were vegan? My opinion about veganism before I was vegan was that I didn't have an opinion. I didn't know about veganism, and then when I did hear about it, I went for it. So it was kind of that. I mean, I just thought it was a bit difficult and maybe a bit extreme when I first heard about it and didn't straight away change. But then when I understood it, Boom. Planning to react video, that's very good. What's your opinion about veganism before you were vegan? Watch Garth Davis, Why I'm Still Vegan. I should make a Why I'm Still Vegan. Why am I still vegan? Because animals are beautiful, humans are beautiful, life is beautiful, and I don't want to take away that beautifulness. That's my opinion. I could just make a 7-second video just being like, I'm still vegan because life is beautiful. Why would you want to take it away from creatures that just want to like play and dance and sing and, you know, like in those movies I saw. And then I just cut to like, fish are friends, not food, and like random Disney clips. You and Hench still hang out? Yeah, Hench lives in Tokyo now. Actually, he's been like, hanging out. He's just like, he goes to like the gyms, and he's just like all the Japanese people are just admiring his muscles. But I haven't seen Hench in a while, but I'd love to see him over a lot. You see. Yeah. Reptilians, you see. Thank you for guys, definitely going to use it. Planning to do a react video. Might we get a chance? I'm so happy today. Most embarrassing moments. I win like life. I don't really moments. I just see those kinds of moments, which I know what you mean, as being like the kind of things that we can just kind of enjoy as like just a lesson for life. One of the most embarrassing moments was actually like just recently was like, which is quite relevant. Like I had a friend through Instagram, like a Japanese vegan girl who I was messaging like in Japanese. I didn't really know anything about her, but I just didn't know any vegans, and I wanted to have some friends. So I was messaging her, and we were just chatting a bit. And I was better at typing than I was speaking and understanding, which is a problem when you learn a language. So we were chatting a bit, and then there was a vegan protest march thing, and then I saw her for the first time, and I went up to her and I was like, "Oh, how's it going?" Obviously, she doesn't speak any English. She said a bunch of stuff really quickly, and I was like, "Eh?" And I just didn't understand. And I was like trying to ask her like, "Oh, so what's your vegan story?" And she just gave up on me. And it wasn't like I didn't like her or anything. It wasn't one of those like trying to date a girl thing. But it was just such an embarrassing experience where I was so excited to chat with her about veganism, and I just realised I couldn't understand any of it. And that was just really like, I just felt like I'd lost. And that like, then I just went back to the drawing board, just like punched the punch bags all day, and now I'm native level fluent, just all thanks to that. A YouTube channel called Carnival made a video bashing Hench on age over 4 years period. How is he aged? I mean, Hench is aged, isn't he? Of course he's aged. Everyone's aging. Vegan activist has aged in the last 4 years since being vegan. He must be having most embarrassing moments. Truth is often something. Hello from Australia. How's it going, Michael? I'm called Michael sometimes. Might get it. What was your worst job? No, short. No problem. Much thanks. Much thanks, yeah. I'm a person of knowledge. If you want, I can explain quantum entanglement is. I don't need to know what explain quantum entanglement in Korean, and then I'll figure it out from that. You and Hench still hang out. What's your best childhood memory? My best childhood memory was... it was when I used to music rooms with, like, cool people, and we used to just share, like, musical experiences. Those were the ones that I loved. I'm going to round this up soon. Truth is good. What's your worst job? These are just generic questions that are really helpful, because I enjoy them. Laurie Williams has asked a really good question, though, so I'm going to answer that. I'm a new vegan and wanted to ask how you deal with the daily thoughts of animals and what is going on. Daily thoughts of animals and what is going on. I might, myself, getting depressed about it and feel so desperate wanting change. Yeah, that's the question, isn't it? So for me, I see it as I mean, honestly, there's so much suffering going on. You don't have to look hard to find suffering. It's right in front of us in most of life, you know, whether it be people around us or obviously the animals. The animal things are so difficult and challenging. FX Vegan has said some interesting things, but there's so much stress and so much difficulty. I think if we get caught up in that, it cripples us from being able to actually, you know, make a positive difference for ourselves and the world around us. So I think actually take a moment to forgive yourself for what you did. If you've obviously eaten animals, allow yourself to forgive yourself and let go that knowing that that's happening, but there's not much you can do with it in the short term. You can take very simple steps and find a sense of solace, which is a nice word, in those simple actions that create ripples that are good for the world. If you can find that place where through the actions you find this peacefulness. I mean, on a practical level, I think doing meditational practices in whatever form is kind of appropriate for you, gives your mind some clarity to kind of let go of things. I think if you can find a peace and realize everything is kind of in the place that it needs to be, which is really heavy to get over, but if you can get to that point where you can kind of just embrace that everything is as it is and you can't really change it, but you can't change it right now because it's perfect, but like it's also perfect that you want to change it, and so you can accept that and see that as beautiful. This isn't making that much sense, but I think it's just a case of like realize that it's this collective world, this problem of animals being killed, and the things that you can do are often very simple, and you can find a lot of peace in yourself that you're doing a beautiful thing by being vegan and sharing it in a world that isn't necessarily ready for veganism straight away, but happening. And like with time, there's going to be a lot more vegan options, a lot more kind of vegan-friendly things and events, and people are going to be more open to it and understanding of the concept of it and why it's important, even if they haven't changed yet. So I think just patience, find the patience. The depression doesn't help anyone, really. And just realize life's beautiful and you can do anything with it. And through your own happiness, you know, you're entitled to your own happiness, I think. And you can help animals at the same time. So I hope that helps, Laurie. You know, I'm sorry you're feeling those emotions, but it's, I'm sharing some positivity your way. If you had a chance to do over of your life, what would you do differently? I mean, I don't believe in the do-overs. I'm not about do-overs. I think with life you get one shot. I mean, with the life we're experiencing right now, we have one shot right now at every moment. I mean, realistically, I'd love to have learnt a bunch of languages as a child. That would have been really nice. And because now I'm catching up on that because I want to learn all the languages that are important to me right now. But yeah, languages, I'd say. Thought about videos. What do you do to find plastic-free tofu? Plastic-free tofu? You make it yourself? I can't do that yet. I could make it, but it's too moment, so I'm kind of too selfish. Too selfish to do the plan. FX Vegan, yeah, I know. The embarrassing experiences is like gaikokudin. Like us, we're like babies, aren't we? Really? How would you spend your free time? I spend most of my free time listening to Japanese media in the form of like podcasts, just people speaking. I'm just absorbing stuff. I do a bit of reading. I'm just trying to go crazy with learning Japanese now, so I can promote veganism and beautifulness, and just enjoy life. How much of your daily diet is raw compared to processed, and how are the vegan sausages at Greg's? So vegan sausages at Greg's. I mean, I don't eat vegan sausages, and there's no Greg's where I'm living right now. But I'm sure they're pretty yummy. Raw. I mean, I'm eating mostly whole food stuff, like lots of vegetables, lots of beans, lots of oats now. Got a bit of tofu, which is a processed soy thing. Natto, which is a whole food soy thing. Quite a bit of soy. Noodles, I'm eating like kind of soba noodles, which are buckwheat noodles. I'm eating, yeah, just lots of curries with rice and some lentils and things. I'm getting those, like dates, some fruits and things, like just a bit of that. I occasionally eat some of the Japanesey sweets and stuff like that, but I don't. Vegan sausage is non-existent. We could make one. You can make them with beans and stuff, but that's a bit pointless. I have a, what's it called? A gas conro. Yeah, conro. So I can do baking things now, which is good. How much of your daily diet is raw? Not raw, but like, is there hemp milk in Tokyo? No. You can make hemp milk if you buy hemp seeds. I have hemp seeds, but I got them from England, so they're technically just me importing them as I came. Knowledge is power, yeah. I'm not a massive fan of all the time raw, but lots of whole foods, isn't it? I just like lots of steamed veggies and stuff and some spices. You see something terrible, you act on it. If you don't do anything, then it was not so important to you. Have you watched Dominion? Thoughts? Dominion was good, lots of information, helpful. It's similar to all the other documentaries, really, so it doesn't do much for me because I've experienced... I know how the animal industry works. I've spent a lot of hours putting into it, hundreds and thousands of hours into how that works. My free time, yeah, Japanese stuff. Something terrible to act on it. Have you watched Dominion? Laughing so hard. Vegan sausages and nuggets in Japan. How do you make tofu? I think you have to like cook soybeans and then similar to how they make cheese, which doesn't help if you don't know how to make cheese. For me, I don't really know, so I can't give you advice on that. How do you make tofu? Hemp milk in Japan. What is a dream that you have you've yet to achieve? I'm going to end, but this is Bertha's giving me all the good questions. A dream. I mean, my dream is to make a vegan documentary in Japan and to inspire everyone around me to be happy. Ethics translates to rinri in Japanese. Rinri. Does it? I didn't know that word. Rinri. Rinri. ちょっと待って。この番組はグランのスポンサーの提供でお送りします。Rinri. Yeah, I'll figure it out. But anyway, I'm going to round this up. Thanks everyone for joining me. I'm going to upload this soon, but I'm gonna bounce. What do you feel about pizza place? I got to go, and that's not too relevant. What if I work at pizza place and feel bad? Difficult times. I'm reaching out to my community. Not too many meetups in my town. Thanks, Laurie. Thanks everyone. Been late. I hope your day goes well, or your night goes well, or your morning goes well. I hope to see you again soon. I have a video coming soon. Quick tour, won't judge. Okay. ちょっと。Sorry, I think I've just ruined the microphone. Sorry, we have a tatami. I'm just going to hold this. So I have this. Sayonara. It's a bit dark. So, here's the bathroom. Oh, let me turn the light on. There's a plant. So, you know what? Tour, yeah. Here we go. So I have a table. I have an essential vegan bag. Gas thing. Fridge. Kitchen. Some tea. And here's a bath. Here's my feet. Tatami. is minimalist or just broke. I just moved in today. Also minimalist, yeah. I have no stuff. And then there's like a cupboard here. It's 5 a.m. here. And then I have blue curtains, which are good. Aircon. And out here is my... it's too dark.